Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a little bit since my last video. I was going to show you guys what I'm doing for my 7th grader, but I just got my shipment for next school year and I wanted to show you guys that because I'm super excited. So for my 1st grader, he's going to be in 1st grade, he's in kindergarten now. Year 1 is what Ambleside calls it, and that's what we're doing. We're doing Ambleside, so we're doing classical Charlotte Mason type education. I'm going to change some things up a little bit, so I wouldn't say I'm what I've learned to be termed the purist Ambleside, but I am going to use majority Ambleside. So I'm going to show you what I have here, and this is probably like everything you've seen from every other channel. But I did want to make a note. I got all of these books from Living Book Press, which is what Ambleside recommends if you don't want to get them for free. And that's fine, they're great. But I think what people don't understand, or what I haven't been hearing talked about a lot, is they're an Australia-based small business, which is fine. I'm all about supporting small businesses, especially to keep these books in print. But do think about that when you're, buying books and they are getting shipped, because I think this took about 3 weeks to a month to get to me, which is fine because, like I said, I'm not using it until next school year. But something to keep in mind, you can't just order it. And I think we're also used to Amazon just coming in 2 days. So first we have the Burgess book, the Burgess bird book. I just flipped through this. It has beautiful pictures of real birds. I think my son will like this. If not, I definitely am going to enjoy it. I love looking at birds. So our island history, it's going to be history, parables from nature. I've actually heard this one was really good, so I'm excited to dive into this. And I might actually read some of these during the summer just because I want to learn about them and see what they're about before we teach it, especially this one, Tales from Shakespeare. I loved Shakespeare in high school and even into college, so I will definitely be wanting to see what this is about and how close to the plays they are. So we have Elementary Geography by Charlotte Mason, Viking Tales, 50 Famous Stories Retold. I love the cover of this. It reminds me of like the Book of Daniel or something, where he goes in the lion's den. So I'm sure that's not what it's about, but that's like my first thought is to go there. A Children's Garden of Verses. I love this color. This little girl on the swing. And it's just so pretty with the green background and her pink dress. So I'm excited for this. I was actually thinking, like, how am I going to read a poem a day from this? Because, when you have all these books and you see the Ambleside schedule, you're like, oh, it just feels like a lot. But when you actually get them, like, this book is pretty thin. Like, I feel like we could go through, because my kindergartner, he does love poems, especially silly ones like Shel Silverstein. There's one about a boa constrictor that he just loves, like the boa constrictor is eating the man, and he loves that one. So I guess I can always read those if we get done with this. And then Home Geography by C.C. Long. My kindergartner also loves geography, so I have this, but I'm also going to be supplementing geography with the Evan Moore workbooks. Those aren't really curriculum. They're more of what you would call like a skill builder. But he loves doing those. They have like each little chapter is divided up, and then it has like a couple of pages to do. And at the end, you do like a craft, like just a little cutout craft. So yeah, he's made a volcano, a snake, and a boat, and a couple of other things. And he loves those little hands-on activities. So I'll be working between those and this. My full curriculum for him is not just Ambleside or Charlotte Mason. Like I said, I'm not a purist. I do want to mix and match some things up that I know that he enjoys and that he will love, so that he will just have a love of learning and want to do school every day. And then the Blue Fairy book. Now this one is actually, I thought this one's going to be smaller than what it was. This one's pretty big, but I'll probably be diving into this one during the summer myself. Okay, and then Trial and Triumph is a part of the curriculum, and that is, from what I understand, it's like Christian based, and it talks about how people have done things for the faith, like martyrs or stuff like that. So I'm going to go kind of a different route. I will probably pick that up from my own personal education or mother's culture, but for my son, he really loves this book. This is God's Very Good Idea, and it's by The Good Book Company, thegoodbook.com. And look, it just has a ton of like colors and pictures, and he really likes this book, and I can see why. It is just beautiful. I love the message that it has in the story. But this company makes books like this colorful and characters and stuff like this, but they make it for Christian influences as well, like Corrie ten Boom, C.S. Lewis, people like that. So I'm going to incorporate the Christian biographies. I'm just going to go a different route. I'm going to go with this company instead, and I might just buy a couple at a time. They are a little bit expensive versus Trial and Triumph, but I think he will enjoy these a lot more because he loves this book. So a couple things that haven't come yet that I will update you guys on when I get it. For language arts and phonics, we are doing Rod and Staff, grade 1. I decided that I really like that program. As you can see from before, he was doing the Happy Cheetah, and that's fine. But one thing I didn't recognize with the charter school is that we would have to give stuff back, and I wasn't aware of like specifically what we would have to get back, but we have to give back the readers, which is a big bummer because I wanted to use those like through the summer. So we're giving those back at the end of or beginning of May, I think. So, I mean, that's okay. That's fine. I have another thing that I'm going to use for summer for him. But yeah, so we have to give those readers back. So that's kind of a bum deal. But then I was looking into more of like, what do I actually want a phonics and reading program for him? And Rod and Staff pretty much had it. What else am I missing? Math, we're going to, oh yes, Math with Confidence. I forgot yet. We're going to just keep going with that book. He is doing really well in it on the first grade. We might have to skip around because my son gets really like, once he gets a concept down, he gets really bored. And he's like, okay, I know this. Like, why do I have to keep doing this? Like, he doesn't understand, like, hey, you need to practice your skills yet. But that's fine. Like, I just want him to keep going and enjoy, especially with the math. So I think that's it. Things, honestly, I'm trying to figure out how to do is basically keeping my kids off screens for as long as possible during the day. And I know that's like, well, just keep them off screens. We've just like gotten so accustomed to being on screens from like 12 to 4, and then in the evening time as well, which that sounds like a lot, 12 to 4, but it's not like a constant screen time, but it's enough to make me feel like it's too much. So, and that's my part, you know, as a mom, getting them out of the house, making sure they go outside. So that's really why I'm so drawn to Charlotte Mason, I think, is just like her approach to like kids need to be outside, they need to be learning. And my son, he does have autism, so it's a lot to get him outside, honestly, because once he gets in the routine, a certain routine, it's very hard to like get him onto another routine. So I'm hoping that this summer, though, things will be a bit more calmed down and I can transition like, hey, all right, we're going to do learning, and then we're going to go outside, and then we're going to do screens, or, you know, like pick exactly what I want to do. Anyways, I'm rambling. So that's going to be my real goal for next year, is just to get my kids off screens and more outside and in nature. So I'm pretty sure having all these books and like just taking them outside and reading. I've also been learning about like having tea time, which I know my boys don't like tea, but they love hot cocoa or, you know, something like that. So we can do that. I've been finding a lot of inspiration from mothers on YouTube who are doing this as well. So I think that's really going to help me, you know, moving forward with the new school year. So when I get my son's 8th grade year, my older son, I will post that, and I will also update you on this. If anything else comes, I'll probably just make a little short showing you like, hey, here's my stuff for math, here's my stuff for reading, just so you can kind of see it, even though it's already out here on the internet. I don't know why you need it from me, but just in case. All right, well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.